Tried to do it. I couldn't do it. I said, 5:15, hot tub, felt good. Then I took a cold shower. So now I'm here, chilling with you, waiting to send out the black signal. I don't know. I guess it's almost like my black signal don't open until 6:37 or some shit like that. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting this constant spin or cycle of death. I just want to send out the black signal, keep my word to my fam. Set up mine. So I'm going to have to go on and skip around it and set up my... I'm going to have to skip around it and set up my chat. So let me go to my dashboard to make sure that we're streaming on all cylinders. Go over here. Well, I'm check one more time. Nope, it's still spinning. So let me go over here. I'm going to open up the chat real quick, so that I can see what you have to say. What you have to say is important. Then we're going to go and do our water song. Then we're going to move on. Get ready for the night show. Make our toast. Start our day. George Johnson. Who? I don't know no George Johnson. All right. So here we go. Let me see. No, still can't broadcast, man. I don't know what's going on with this black signal family. We working with it. We working with it. I'm trying to get this once again, right? Once again. That's why I move like I move. Now, I sent out something to be proofread, looked at. I got one response. One response. And you know, like I said, I'm going to just roll with it because I feel the information need to get out. I can correct that later. So, but family, I want to say, I want to welcome you to Giami Journey Media. Anime. All right, let me start over. Just for anime, y'all. We're going to do this just for anime. All right? So, family, I want to welcome you to the Congregation of Mighty, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giami Journey Media. I ain't going to high-five you this time. All right. This is a Heart of a Simple production. Of course, you know this is the Daily Toast. We strive to blow up your old paradigm. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take a breath and drink some water. Take a breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Oh, what should we say? Breathe, then drink. Now grab your glass for that water. Get your bottle of the water. Twist the cap off your water. Then pour your water. Drink. Or should I say, live, pour, then drink. Uh-oh, black signal up. Now move your body, drink some water, stretch it out, fam. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Just move your body. Drink. Oh. Or should we say, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Fam, just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, drink, eat, move. But hey, take a break. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink it up with me, family. Black signal still ain't operating right. Man, I'm sending out the signal. I don't know what's going on. It's coming back talking about. I don't even know what it's talking about. So I'm gonna uplift. I'm gonna refresh. So I wanted to go through some of the topics that old ass Bernie Sanders. Because, you know, Gianni Journey, I'm going to have to call him old ass Bernie Sanders. Because I'm not understanding the strategy. And I'm not a politician. You know what I'm saying? But this neglecting black folk shit is not going to work. Black people. ADOS, this shit is not gonna work. Right? This whole everybody, everything shit, nigga. Fuck that. Right? Here we go. 8 hours, 9 minutes ago, the crowd chanted, burn knee, burn knee. And then he took selfies with the audience. That was the end of the speech. Come on, let's go. Come on. Computer. God damn it. See, Clee, you be fucking up and I be needing a computer, nigga. You better straighten it out, man. I need a computer. My computer freezing, and you got that fresh touchscreen computer upstairs, boy. I'm so tempted just to go on and get that thing. Alright. I wanted to go through the step-by-step. Oh, my fault. I can do that. I have a tablet over here. Hold on. So while we waiting for that, let me check the broadcast. Alright, cool. Alright, family, so we could talk about tonight, of course. Y'all on some bullshit. What is going on? Previous. What I do wrong? Next. God damn. I'm about to call him, man, because this is getting ridiculous. All right. Okay. So he took me all the way back there. So, all right. Sanders, the pharmaceutical industry is the most greedy entity in the country. I want to make sure I get everything because I don't want to be unfair. So he talks about the pharmaceutical industry. The only way you beat the drug company is when millions of people stand up and say, I'm not going to allow you to kill my wife or my kids. Sanders said, we're not going to pay outrageous prices. Sanders stopped short of calling Maduro a dictator, warns against outside intervention in Venezuela. It's fair to say that the last election was undemocratic, but there are still democratic operations taking place in that country, Sanders said. What I am calling for right now is international supervised free elections. We don't get those here. Sanders say he supports statehood for Washington, D.C. Okay. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Sanders say he will be cabinet. His would-be cabinet will be diverse to reflect what America is. Sanders praises Trump's meeting with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Bernie Sanders explains Medicare for all. A recent Gallup poll showed that 70% of those with employers plan to stay their coverage is excellent or good or whatever. Would Americans who like pride? Okay. Sanders say he'll bring a lie detector to debate with Trump. Sanders on allegation of harassment on his 26th campaign. It will not happen again. Bernie Sanders explains why he supports democratic socialism. To me, when I talk about democratic socialism, what I talk about are human rights and economic rights. Sanders says he'll release 10 years of his tax return soon. I mean, all you gotta do is go to TurboTax and have them download that shit, right? Oh, they do their taxes different. You do. Once you get on different brackets, you get. All right. Sanders is damn right I'll make large companies pay their fair share of taxes. Sanders pledged to support the Democratic nominee no matter who it is. I pledge certainly to do that, Sanders said. People don't really realize they're getting set up. We're minutes away from the CNN town hall with Bernie Sanders. Now, this old man ain't mentioned nothing about reparations. Oh, Bernie on my shit list now. I don't believe it. I don't believe Bernie played us like that. I don't believe it. I thought I was going to go through the timeline, and somewhere in there, he going to talk about that. He talk about pharmaceuticals, Medicare for all, but he don't hit our topic. But then, now, I want y'all to say this. I want y'all to hear this. So he gets all his energy going, right? Right? Get all his energy going. And then, in the middle, he says he will support the Democratic nominee no matter who it is. So people understand you being set up. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. That's like, that's like you don't stop. You don't worry about that until the end of the goddamn game. You don't worry about losing until the end of the game, right? Once the game is over, that's when you make your decision and you do what you're gonna do and you be a good athlete. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I'm so sick of this shit. I mean, they just playing with me. They playing with me. All right. So, we read it, so I don't need this right now. Let me see if they sent out the broadcast. So whack. Man, all right. So, the folktale for the night Cool. My campaign has been sent out. Let me know if y'all get the black signal. So we doing folk tales for grown folks tonight. And alright, cool. So it should have went out. There it go. Took long enough. Maybe they don't open at 6 or something. This is called The Lion, Jupiter, and the Elephant. We already kind of read this one. Great Kujichagulia to you as well, Brother Kwame. Shouts out to Sister Nabita. The Lion, Jupiter, and the Elephant. The lion wearied Jupiter with his frequent complaints. It is true, O Jupiter, he said, that I am gigantic in strength, handsome in shape, and powerful in attack. I have jaws well provided with teeth and feet furnished with claws, and I lord it over all the beasts of the forest. And what a disgrace it is that being such as I am, I should be frightened by the crowing of a cock. Jupiter replied, why do you blame me without a cause? I have given you all the attributes which I possess myself, and your courage never fails you except in this one instance. On hearing this, the lion groaned and lamented very much, and reproaching himself with his cowardice, wished that he might die. As these thoughts passed through his mind, he met an elephant and came close to hold a conversation with him. After a time, he observed the elephant shook his ears very often, and he inquired what was the matter and why his ears moved with such a tremor every now and then. Just at that moment, a gnat settled on the head of the elephant, and he replied, do you see that little buzzing insect? If it enters my ears, my fate is sealed. I should die presently. The lion said, well, since so huge a beast is afraid of a tiny gnat, I will no more complain, nor wish myself dead. I find myself, even as I am, better off than the elephant. I guess misery loves company, but we will be having a discussion on that one tonight.
Is that real? That butt enters an elephant's ear?
I doubt it. I doubt it. But it's a possibility. I mean, it's a lot of strange things in the world, sir. So, I'm going to finish this water and we're going to do this toast. So, we will be having Folk Tales for Grown Folks tonight at 9 p.m. Once again, that's Folk Tales for Grown Folks at 9 p.m. Black Signal has finally went out. So, I guess I don't know, man. This Black Signal piece. But that's how I'm going to send out this newsletter. And I want to send out this newsletter, but while it's still hot. Here's a question from the Journey. Here's how to prepare your heirs for the $68 trillion Great Wealth Transfer. Here's how to prepare your heirs for the $68 trillion wealth transfer. Hold on. Y'all know we got to hit this one, right? We got to hit this one just for a minute. I got just a little bit of water left. We're going to hit this one, right? The $68 trillion transfer. Now, I want y'all to hear this. Here's how to prepare your heirs for the $68 trillion Great Wealth Transfer. Baby boomers are set to pass to their children a mind-boggling $68 trillion, the biggest generational wealth transfer ever. Much of the wealth is held in individual retirement accounts. Any mistakes in the transfer to those funds can result in a big tax bite out of that inheritance. By understanding the rules before acting, heirs of IRAs can plan in ways that avoid unnecessary taxes and ensure continued tax-deferred growth. Now, the question I asked on my timeline, and I want y'all to hear this, here's how to prepare your heirs for the $68 trillion Great Wealth Transfer. How much you getting? How much you getting? 68 trillion. Come on, family. Come on now. Warren Buffett says the wealthy are undertaxed compared with the rest of the U.S. population. If they're gonna pay reparations, yeah, they're gonna have to work that out. Plus, they're gonna have to eliminate the because wealth is calcifying, which means it's getting stuck at the top, and we got to really deal with that, family. We got to really deal with that. Because it's crazy, man. And then the last thing, and then I'm moving on. Why is the draft still an issue with the voluntary military in this country? Judge rules male-only draft violates Constitution. Now, why are we... Is something coming that we going to need to just start grabbing young people again and shit? Because we got a full volunteer army. I don't understand why the draft is still a fucking issue, right? But hey... Then they got machines. Something wrong. All right, something might be, they plotting something on us, y'all. All right, but yo, let me go and drink this water. All right, family, make sure you help us by posting your news articles and stuff on there with your little comments. Because like I said, I want the newsletter to reflect you. I'm thinking about, I guess if I do it by myself, I might be able to do, I was planning to do it monthly, but it's so easy. It's so easy. I'm thinking about actually, possibly, maybe doing it once a month. I don't know. No, mean once a week. Because, I want to get some views out there. I want to get some information out there. And I think that it's important that we do that. And also, I want to, like I said, I'm taking this whole media piece very seriously. And I know I'm not a reporter. I can only make comments and get on people's nerves and stuff like that. And reporters do that too, ask questions and stuff, and I think we need an arm of Gianni. We need an arm in our community that's asking these questions, especially around this whole ADOS thing, around this reparation things, around some of these political issues that's coming up, because 2020 is coming up and we really got to start gearing up. And as we start building up the market and we start having conversations, we need to be able to have people from our camp have those conversations with people, because we really have to start moving politically in our interest, economically in our interest, socially in our interest, educationally in our interest. Because nobody else is going to look out for it, family. Nobody else. That's our responsibility and our responsibility alone. And I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? So if that means I got to, stay up a little bit later to do a newsletter, I'm still deciding. Because one of the systems like, we got to do it once a month. I'm like, I don't know if once a month is going to be enough, right? Because my whole piece is, boom, this is also, because as people start supporting Gianni Journey, I like having something that they could get. I like trading. You know what I'm saying? I like giving you something of value for what you got of value. So I'm not really into that whole, that's one of the reasons I have a problem with the nonprofit piece, because it's like, you ask people for something, but you don't give them nothing in return. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you do services, but immediately they don't get anything in return. Same thing with a church. collection plate go around, and it's like, you get a little something. But, as far as Yummy Journey, I want to exchange value. Once again, get that reciprocity flowing, right? That reciprocity flowing. You put something in, you get something back. You get something back, you put something in. We got this cycle going. And this is a cycle that we need to get going. Same thing with the market. People come, they get information, they get something else. They contribute to the vendors. The vendors come back, bring something, and give them something else. And it's a constant flow that we got going once a month in our community. And in some form or fashion, we may be able to move it from once a month to something else. You understand what I'm saying? So, family, we're trying to hit this media piece from many different angles, because whether you know it or not, the market is part of the media piece. Why? Because we're disseminating information, are we not? Had a discussion about the movie, had a whole lecture, 2 lectures about the African heritage diet, and guess who got the leftovers? Yes! God damn it. Yes! I got them. That's right. Yep. So, family, what you doing? You need to massage your book, sir. All right, so we lift up our glass. We salute the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to the list of our illustrious, mighty ancestors. And we call on Miles Brown, Mazan, Robert Alexander Davis, Hunt Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walter, Chris Pendergast, and Lena, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland, Jenny Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Harry Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fuller, Montague Pittman, No More X, the Pet My Robin, looking for Core, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamai, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carla Hayes, Grace Lundy, Inez Hayes, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling, Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pullian, the Luster Brother, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Lonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janet Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Rain Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kelly D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melville Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clayburg, B.D. Selwell, Levita Farmagosa, Sue Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Trill Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Murphy Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ada Johnson, Fortune Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Wright, Eliza, Frederick Davis, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selva Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Rita Pearson, Surgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lovina Hall, Freeman Banks, Jermaine Marshall, Penny Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, Essie Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. S. Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hedley Levester, May Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineau, Elder Amitep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Leonard Ohio, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Pina Triggs, Reverend Ellie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Diddy Ayers, Jean and Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. Shouts out to Andre Mende, Oh, okay. He added somebody. Hold on. I got you, bruh. Got you. Next Gen J Mall setting up. $5 foot massage booth. What? What? Okay. Alright, so let's continue with the ancestors. William Walter West, Nigel Parrish, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFritis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scanabay, Wilson Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, R.G. Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaneko Parsons, Jason Cathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, Uncle Buki, also Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki and Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher George, and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Edgar Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Al Becker, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Here, Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Halsey Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, President Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Frances Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford, Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Elvis Molly, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlton Houston, Led Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Harry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, and Pierce Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Herbin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broaders, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coper, George Swan, Emmanuel Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles A. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon, Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James, Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham, Isaac Kundal, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jepson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quincy Sample, Candace Simmons, Severn Clayton, Leonard Jones, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacy Trice, Denise Gorey, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid Isin, also known as Nigel Turner, and Demetrius Lewis Flint. Now I'm getting my yeah. We got these foot massages popping off at the, like I said, spreading the word. That's that media, right? Working on them toes, you know. So also we need to work on trying to get some type of yoga workshop up in there, so people can find out about the yoga classes, so that they can move their bodies. You know what I'm saying? Got to move our bodies, right? You know, because I mean, you know. So, hey, we doing it. So, family, we raise our glass to all of our ancestors that we just read, our personal ancestors, and we lift up our glass and we say, I say, from there, where do we go? You know where we go. We go to the present moment. Right now, we are in the presence of greatness. This is Kujichagulia. Shouts out to all of my Abinas and Quabinas that's on the team, right? We rule the team. We run the team right now. It's more of us than anybody. Man, I get hyped up on this day. All right. Today is Kujichagulia. For those that don't speak the language, that's self-determination. So, family, activate your reticular formations. We are going out here in search of self-determination. Take a picture. Post it up on Giami Journey. It would be so nice, man. I can't wait. It'll be so nice when we're going to have a newsletter full of examples out of our community, right, of our principles in action. I just want to have a section called Principles in Action. Principles in Action. Boom, Moja. Boom, best Moja picture. Boom, best Kujichagulia picture. Because, family, we got to start looking for what we want. We have been programmed. And we have been out of necessity. We've been looking for what we don't want, what we don't need, because those things hinder our existence. They could end our lives. But now we have to train ourselves, not only to be able to notice those things of danger, but to be able to notice the things that we want. And we have to start talking about them. We have to start talking about them. Yeah, let's talk about the shit we don't want, but we also have to have the courage to start bringing up and talking about what it is that we do want and start learning to see it. Even in the fucked up situation that many of us could be in here, right? Even though it's not necessarily fucked up. Maybe it's messed up for our brother out there because I'm looking for that, right? You don't have to look for that. Self-determination. The mighty principle is justice. Color is indigo. That's why I got on black. We're gonna have some Daily Toaster shirts and some Giami Journey books up there too. Correspondence is the Hermetic Law. Male name is Quabinas. Shouts out to all the Quabinas. And female is Abina. Shouts out to the Abinas. I see you out there, Miss Navita. It's Tiandra out there today because she's a Bina, and Gina upstairs. We got a couple. Hey, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me because I know, Bina is on the team, right? So we lift up our glass to all. No, we lift up the glass to this moment, right? We celebrate this moment. We move in this moment in power because this is where our power lies. So we're going to harness it and we're going to pull out every spark of life out of it. And we're going to use it to transfer wealth to the next generation. Right? Our wealth of wisdom, our wealth of resources, our wealth of skills we're transferring and we're building for the future generation. So we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, move to our future generations. We lift up and we toast our children's children on to infinity, family, because we are responsible for them, right? So we want them to know that we are saluting them in advance. And we understand that we are in a generational struggle, family, right? So I got to do what I got to do in this present moment so that I can come back into a better situation, because I'm trapped in my bloodline. You know what I'm saying? This is our bloodline, right? You come back into it, right? So we lift up our glass, we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to all of our relations, and we toast and we say Ashe. Next, we toast and we open it up for you. What is it that you need in this moment to make yourself great? What is it that you need in this moment to just simply, what do you need in this moment? We lift up our glass and we say Ashe. Last but not least, family, I toast the most fabulous, magnificent, marvelous, most uplifting, most inspiring, strongest person right now in the room, right now. You know what it is? That's you. I lift up my glass to you and I say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. And I'm out. Got to go iron these clothes. That old ambrosia. Oh, got some new ones brewing though. Not brewing. Fermenting is still fermenting. The process is moving slow. Like I like it. See, this time of year, it moves slow. Nice and steady. In the summertime, when it's hot, I gotta turn up the air conditioner or that shit will be like 2 days. Alright, family, I'm out. Y'all have a great day.